The Shiny Teddy Toy Mystery. Happy adventure! Today is a warm and sunny day. Peppa and George are happily jumping and playing together. Suddenly, a teddy bear appears, dancing happily, then disappears.
Hey!
They were curious and ran off together to find out. They arrive at a toy forest.
Wow!
A teddy bear is hiding in the bushes. The three of them start playing together. Peppa is dancing with Teddy. George is dancing with Teddy. A bright light appears, and then Teddy disappears. They didn't know what happened, but they were happy. It was a fun adventure. Peppa's Sweet Shop. Peppa and George are opening their very own candy shop. They decorate the shop with balloons and ribbons. Look at all the colorful candies! Oops! George dropped some candy. They clean up together, and their first customer has arrived. Susie picks her favorite cake. George packed the treats carefully.
Oh!
Business is going well. More friends are coming to visit. The candy shop is full of happy customers. Peppa and George are busy serving their friends. The shelves are almost empty. The last cupcake is sold. What a success! Peppa tidies up after a busy day. Everything is sold out. After a busy day, George takes a little rest. The shop closes for the day. And they are proud of their sweet little shop. What a wonderful day at Peppa's Sweet Shop. See you next time. Peppa's music class. A bright morning shines through the window of the music room. Peppa and her friends hurry inside, full of excitement. Miss Gazelle enters, smiling gently as she rings a tiny bell. Everyone sits down, eyes filled with curiosity. A big box opens. Inside are colorful instruments. Peppa spots a red guitar and gasps with joy. Danny taps a drum. Boom, boom. Rebecca blows the trumpet. Toot! What a funny sound! Laughter fills the room like music itself. Miss Gazelle raises her hand, keeping a soft rhythm. Peppa strums her little guitar proudly. Danny plays faster. The beat gets lively. Susie shakes her tambourine with a happy grin. Together they create a cheerful, messy melody. Colorful notes float in the air like bubbles. The music slowly fades into a calm tune. Miss Gazelle smiles, clapping her hands softly. The children bow together, their hearts full of joy. As the bell rings, Peppa waves goodbye, her little guitar still shining in the sun. The kite flying contest. The whole family walks out onto a wide open field. A gentle breeze blows, and the sky is clear blue. Dad carefully unfolds the kite, checking the frame and the string. Mom spreads a small mat on the ground, smiling, one hand shading her eyes as she looks up at the sky. The sister holds the kite string spool, her eyes focused, a little nervous. The younger brother hops around excitedly, hugging a kite almost as big as himself. Dad gives the signal.
Hey.
The younger brother runs forward, the kite dragging along the ground. The sister holds the string and slowly lets it out. Dad stands behind her, gently placing a hand on her shoulder, guiding each movement. Mom claps to cheer them on as the wind grows stronger. The kite lifts off the ground, trembling slightly, then drops back down. A sudden strong gust of wind blows. The kite shoots up into the sky. The younger brother runs too fast. The string pulls tight, and the kite drags him along without stopping. His feet slip slightly. He leans back but still refuses to let go of the string. The whole family gasps, then bursts out laughing. Mom runs after him a few steps. Dad reaches out to catch him, but the younger brother keeps getting pulled around in circles like an unwilling athlete. Stability and victory. At last, Dad quickly grabs the string. The sister plants her feet firmly and adjusts the rhythm of letting the string out. The younger brother finally stops, panting, then breaks into a wide grin. The kite gradually stabilizes, flying higher, flying straight. Gently gliding across the clear blue sky, the whole family lifts their heads to look up. Mom folds her arms, her face glowing with joy. Dad nods in satisfaction. The sister holds the string steadily, full of pride. The younger brother plops down on the ground, gazing up at the highest flying kite he has ever seen. The camera tilts up, following the kite. The kite grows smaller against the blue sky. Building a house from branches, sunlight filters through the canopy, casting patches of light on the ground. The air is cool, carrying the scent of wood and dry leaves. The whole family walks into a small clearing. Dad looks around and nods, choosing a spot to build the shelter. Mom and the sister smile and start gathering leaves. The younger brother runs ahead excitedly, his eyes bright with curiosity. Dad collects sturdy branches, stacking them neatly. The sister gathers large leaves, shaking off the dirt. Mom ties the leaves into small bundles. The younger brother discovers a very large branch. He hugs it with both arms and tries to lift it. The branch is too heavy. He drags it a few steps, then stops. He grits his teeth and tries harder, his face turning red. The branch moves slightly, then won't budge. Dad notices and runs over immediately. He bends down and lifts the branch together with his son. Father and son work in sync, carrying the branch back to the building spot. The younger brother looks at Dad and smiles proudly. Building the shelter. The branches are raised into a frame. Dad holds the main structure steady. The younger brother passes over smaller branches. Mom and the sister bring the leaves. Together, they layer the leaves onto the roof, stacking them carefully. A light breeze rustles through the leaves. The small shelter slowly takes shape, simple but sturdy. The sky suddenly darkens. A raindrop lands on a leaf. Tap, tap. The rain quickly grows heavier. The family looks up in surprise. Dad signals quickly. Everyone runs into the newly built shelter. Rain pours down outside. The leaves on the roof tremble, but still keep the rain out. Inside, the family sits close together. The younger brother stares out at the rain, wide-eyed. The sister covers her mouth, laughing softly. Dad exhales in relief, glancing up to check the roof. Mom opens her bag. She takes out fruit and shares it with everyone. The family eats fruit while listening to rain tapping on the leafy roof. Peppa goes shopping. Today, Peppa and her family are going to the supermarket. They are excited to buy some tasty snacks. First, they look at the fresh fruits. George loves bananas. Peppa picks her favorite apple. So many candies and cookies to choose from. Peppa chooses star-shaped cookies. George finds some gummy bears. Mummy Pig reminds them to buy something healthy too. Popcorn for a movie night. George adds some potato chips. The basket is getting full. Now it's time to pay. The cashier scans all the snacks. Mummy Pig pays at the counter. They leave happily with their shopping bags. Oh, what a fun trip to the supermarket! Peppa's happy toy hunt, searching for the cute teddy toy. Wow! It's playtime now!
Aha!
Look, George has a cute toy dinosaur. Oh no! Peppa's toy has disappeared! George tries to comfort Peppa, but Peppa runs away. George sees that and runs after her. Peppa and George begin their journey to find Peppa's missing toy. Peppa and George arrive at a fun playground. Peppa and George look around, a little confused. Then a cute little toy teddy appears.
Yay!
Peppa, George, and the little toy teddy play together and dance happily. Then the cute teddy toy goes back to where it was before.
Huh?
They're both very happy. What a fun and exciting little adventure! The first trip to the beach. The car stops near the beach. Waves murmur in the distance, and the breeze carries the salty scent of the sea. Dad takes a deep breath, shading his eyes with one hand as he looks out at the ocean. Mom smiles, holding the younger brother's hand. The sister runs a few steps ahead, her eyes sparkling with excitement. A small wave rolls onto the shore. The water touches the younger brother's feet. He startles and quickly turns back, hiding close against Mom. He clings tightly, his face slightly worried. Mom bends down, hugging him close and gently patting his back to reassure him. With her other hand, she holds a coconut with a straw, takes a sip, and looks completely relaxed. The waves continue to lap softly, no longer as scary as before. After a while, the younger brother peeks out at the sandy beach. His eyes stop on a shimmering seashell. He hesitates for a second, then lets go of Mom's hand. He runs over and bends down to pick up the shell. His face lights up. He hops around happily, holding the shell up high to show off his treasure. Seeing this, the sister runs over, sits down to play with the sand, piling it into small mounds, laughing with delight. Mom takes out her phone, lifts it to take photos. The two children against a backdrop of blue, sea, golden sand, and soft sunlight. Meanwhile, Dad goes to find a lounge chair, pulls it closer, lies down to sunbathe, hands behind his head, looking completely relaxed. After a while, the younger brother sneaks a look toward Dad. He bends down and scoops up a handful of seawater. Splash! He throws water at Dad and bursts into laughter. Dad jolts upright in surprise. Before he can react, Mom steps in and splashes lightly too. The sister joins in, cheering and splashing again and again. Water flies everywhere. Dad pretends to fight back, and the whole family runs around, splashing water and laughing together. Peppa and George love dinosaurs. But today, Daddy Pig has found a very strange clock. What happens if you press the button? Oh no! They are sucked into a time vortex, back to the age of dinosaurs. They land in a giant, prehistoric forest. The dinosaurs are enormous, but very friendly. But suddenly, the ground begins to shake. Here comes the mighty T-Rex. Roar! open the time portal! And just like that, they are safely back home! What an adventure! Time travel with dinosaurs is so much fun! The race on the sand. An afternoon at the beach. The sky is clear. Waves gently lap the shore. The wide beach stretches out, still marked with footprints left by people who passed by earlier. The whole family stands near the water's edge. Dad bends down, using a stick to draw you a long line in the sand. He stands up straight and raises his hand, signaling the starting line. Mom and the sister step into position. The sister warms up her legs, bouncing lightly. Mom smiles, hands on her hips. Ready? The younger brother stands right at the line, crouching low, his eyes full of mischief. Getting ready, the family lines up side by side. Dad raises his hand high. Suddenly, the younger brother dashes off early, before Dad's hand even comes down. The sister's eyes widen. Mom bursts out laughing. Dad turns, pointing in surprise. Cheating! And the price! The younger brother runs a few steps. The soft sand sinks under his feet. His steps wobble. Bam! He tumbles onto the sand. Sand clings to his clothes, his hair a mess. He sits up, a little stunned. The family rushes over. The sister reaches him first. She helps him sit up, brushing sand off his clothes. Mom kneels down, brushing away the sand while checking on him. Her worried look quickly turns to relief. Dad arrives last, putting on a stern face for a moment. Then bursting into loud laughter. The younger brother looks at everyone, then grins too, shy and embarrassed. Ending. The family gathers again at the starting line. This time, everyone stands properly in place. The younger brother looks at Dad, raising his hand to ask for the signal. The sound of the waves mixes with bright laughter. Final frame. The family standing on the beach. The marks of a fall still in the sand, but joy filling the air. The family hikes up the hill. The morning sky is clear. The whole family stops their car in front of a small hill, covered in green grass, with a winding trail leading up to the top. The family begins walking up the gentle slope. The younger brother keeps running and jumping, picking up stones and lightly tossing them downhill. Suddenly, slip! The younger brother loses his footing, his body tipping backward. Immediately, Dad reaches out, gripping tightly and pulling the younger brother back to his feet. Dad pats his head, signaling him to slow down. After climbing a bit further, the sister pants, hands resting on her knees. Mom stops and spreads a small cloth on a rock. She opens the food container, fruit and small snacks. The sister sits down, eating happily. The younger brother eats while swinging his legs. Dad drinks some water, looking around at the lush green hills. Suddenly, buzz! A small swarm of bees flies out from a nearby bush. The whole family jumps up in surprise. Dad signals everyone to run. Mom pulls the sister along. The younger brother runs behind them, panicked. The bees chase them for a short distance, a humorous moment. While running, the younger brother drops a piece of fruit behind him. Immediately, the bees change direction, swarming around the fruit. The family stops and turns back to look. The bees are no longer chasing them. Dad lets out a sigh of relief. Mom bursts into laughter. The sister covers her mouth, giggling. The younger brother stands with his hands on his hips, extremely proud. Scene change. The whole family stands on top of the small hill. Dad stands behind them, his hands resting on both children's shoulders. Mom stands beside them, her hair gently flowing in the wind. The sister smiles, all her tiredness forgotten. The younger brother stretches his arms wide, pretending to be a conqueror of the mountain peak. The ball and the UFO. Today is a perfect day for football. And a little bit of trouble. Meanwhile, Dr. Dog is testing his new invention, a singing, spinning UFO. Uh-oh, looks like the great invention just got tested in a very unexpected way. Luckily, no one was hurt. Just one UFO that needed a little care.
Huh?
And so the UFO flies again, the ball rolls again, and Peppa learns. Sometimes it's better to kick gently. Peppa's birthday party. It's a bright morning in Peppa's house. Something special is happening today. Peppa jumps out of bed, ready for her big day. Mommy Pig makes a delicious breakfast.
Ah!
Peppa has invited all her friends to the party. Everyone helps decorate the house. Mommy Pig is baking a special birthday cake. Everything is set. Peppa can't wait. Here come Peppa's friends with gifts and smiles. Peppa welcomes everyone with joy. The room is full of laughter. It's time for some fun games. Daddy Pig calls everyone inside. The cake is ready.
Go, go, go!
Everyone sings happy birthday for Peppa.
Happy birthday!
Peppa makes a special wish and blows out the candles. Everyone enjoys the sweet treats. Peppa's birthday was full of laughter and love. It was a great day. One quiet afternoon, the pig family is standing together in the garden. Suddenly, a strange pop sound comes from the ground. The sound is very strange, and it sounds very serious.
Huh?
Daddy Pig decides to check carefully. Daddy Pig thinks the ground might be making the noise.
Oh, yeah.
Mommy Pig feels that something is not quite right. Little Pig is very curious and listens very, very closely.
Huh?
Big Pig tries a different idea. And then they realize the sound is not coming from the ground.
Uh-oh.
Boo!
It turns out the sound is coming from Daddy Pig's shoes.
Uh-oh.
Inside the shoe, there is only a small air pocket.
Oh.
And that is why sometimes the strangest sounds come from the most ordinary things. Peppa in art class. It's art time at Peppa's school. Everyone is excited to paint today. Madame Gazelle shows them today's theme, the rainbow. They all pick their favorite colors. Oops! Peppa makes a colorful mess. Susie helps Peppa clean the paint. Danny discovers a new color. Peppa spots a real rainbow. Everyone runs to see it. Peppa gets an idea. She mixes all the colors together and paints a beautiful rainbow. Everyone adds their own touch.
Wow!
Madame Gazelle hangs their masterpiece. They all clap proudly. Peppa giggles at her painty hands. Their classroom is full of laughter. They admire their rainbow art. Peppa's rainbow shines inside and out. Daddy Pig gets healthy. Daddy Pig hasn't been feeling his best lately. So the family decides to help him get healthy again. They start a family fitness week.
Wow!
Warm-up time.
Woohoo!
Running isn't easy for Daddy Pig. But Peppa cheers him on.
Huh?
Next, some relaxing yoga. Oops, that is a bit too round. They keep tying together. He's doing his best. Healthy food helps too. It's not his favorite, but he gives it a try. Daddy's feeling stronger now. He's proud of his progress. With love and teamwork, they stay healthy together. The Rainbow Egg Hunt.
Wow! Whoa! Yahoo! Yahoo! Yahoo!
After the rain, something magical appears. Rainbow footprints. But where do they lead? Peppa has never seen eggs so colorful. It's like someone painted the sky right on them. Oh. Rainbow eggs don't want to be caught. Maybe they're playing hide and seek. It turns out magic is just nature smiling after the rain. That day, Peppa learned not all treasures are meant to be taken home. Today, Peppa and George are in the kitchen. Mummy Pig is getting ready to bake a cake.
Great!
They need flour, sugar, milk, and eggs. Baking time can be a little messy. George helps too. Everyone loves mixing the cake batter.
Whoa!
Now it's time to bake. Into the oven it goes. The cake is ready. Time to make it look beautiful. So our cake is done.
Whoa.
Baking is fun, right? Let's do housework. Today, Peppa and her family are helping at home. Everyone has a little job to do. Let's see how they work together. Peppa wipes the table, George puts away his toys, Daddy Pig cleans the floor, and Mommy Pig dusts the bookshelf. Working together makes everything easier and more fun. The house is clean and tidy. Well done, everyone! Paper boat day. The river flows slowly, sunlight shimmering on the water. The whole family sits together by the riverbank. Colorful sheets of paper lie in front of each person, folding the boats. The older sister sits upright, folding her paper carefully. The creases are neat and straight, forming a small, well-balanced boat. Dad holds a larger sheet of paper. He folds slowly, using firm hands. His boat turns out big and sturdy, with a wide base. The younger brother sits nearby, struggling a bit. One side folds crooked, the other gets wrinkled. His boat looks misshapen, with a bent tip and uneven sides. The younger brother looks at his boat, then at the other two. He scratches his head. Shyly, Mom sits behind them, watching everything, smiling gently. The family stands up and walks closer to the water. The 3 paper boats are placed carefully on the river's surface. Dad gives a signal with his eyes. All 3 gently release their boats at the same time. The boats begin to drift with the current. Watching closely, the sister's boat moves straight and steady, but slowly. Dad's boat is heavier, stable, but it doesn't go very far. The younger brother's boat wobbles at first. Everyone thinks it might sink soon. Suddenly, a small current nudges the crooked boat toward the middle of the river. It glides faster, pulling ahead of the others. The younger brother's eyes widen. He runs along the riverbank, following his boat. The sister and dad stop and stare. They look at each other in surprise. The younger brother's boat travels the farthest, becoming a tiny dot in the distance. The younger brother jumps up, pointing excitedly. The sister laughs. Dad claps loudly. Mom steps closer and gently pats the younger brother's head. The whole family stands together, clapping and laughing happily. The afternoon sun paints the riverbank in warm gold. Peppa and George love dinosaurs. But today, Daddy Pig has found a very strange clock. What happens if you press the button? Oh no! They are sucked into a time vortex, back to the age of dinosaurs. They land in a giant, prehistoric forest. The dinosaurs are enormous, but very friendly. But suddenly, the ground begins to shake. Here comes the mighty T-Rex. Roar! Quick! They must open the time portal! And just like that, they are safely back home! What an adventure! Time travel with dinosaurs is so much fun! Peppa visits the museum. Peppa and her family drive to the big museum on a sunny morning. They park the car and walk excitedly to the entrance. Giant dinosaur statues welcomes them at the gate. Inside, the museum halls are bright and full of wonders. Peppa looks up in awe at the massive dinosaur skeleton. George points and giggles at the dinosaur's big teeth. The family moves to the ancient history section. Old pots, tools, and golden crowns sparkle behind glass. They enter the space gallery filled with stars and planets. Everyone gazes at a model of the solar system. Next is the future technology room with robots. The robot wave as the family walks by.
I love you.
Peppa claps happily, watching the robot dance. Daddy Pig laughs, taking pictures of everyone. A bell rings. The museum is about to close. The family slowly walks toward the exit, smiling. Outside, the sun begins to set behind the museum. Peppa waves goodbye. A perfect day of discovery ends. One lovely morning, the pig family is getting ready to go outside. Daddy Pig starts looking for the hat. Daddy Pig wants to wear his favorite hat. But Daddy Pig cannot find his hat anywhere. Daddy Pig thinks maybe the hat is hiding. Mummy Pig helps look for the hat. Little Pig wants to help too. Big Pig has a different idea. Everyone stops and looks carefully. It turns out the hat has been there the whole time. Daddy Pig was already wearing his hat and did not even notice. And that is why sometimes the thing we are looking for is right on our head.
Huh?
Peppa and George have a lovely tea party with their cute toy dinosaur. Wow, today is a lovely sunny day. They are both very happy in the front yard. Suddenly, George runs off to somewhere nearby. Peppa looks surprised when George comes back with a cute toy dinosaur. George runs off, and Peppa feels curious and excited. Ha 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 ha! It's a bright and cheerful room, all ready for a tea party. George has an idea. Then he jumps and hops around, and his toy dinosaur falls down. Suddenly, something strange happens. The dinosaur suddenly grows bigger. Peppa and George are surprised, so they run over to see what is going on. And soon, all three of them are playing happily together. And then, it has another problem and becomes small again, just like before. It's been a very interesting day, and both of them have had a lovely time. One day at school. Today, Peppa and her friends are having a fun day at school. Let's join them! It's a bright and happy morning at school. Peppa and her friends are excited to start the day. Today, they are learning new and fun things. Peppa loves to answer questions. Everyone wants to join in the lesson.
Wow!
The classroom is filled with laughter. It's time for playtime.
Whoa! Yahoo!
It's lunchtime now. Everyone has a tasty lunch. What a lovely day at school. Goodbye, everyone. Hide and seek. It's a bright and sunny day at the garden. The friends are looking for something fun to play. Peppa has an idea. Let's play hide and seek. Susie begins to count while everyone hides. Peppa finds a perfect spot behind the big tree. George hides quietly inside the toy box. Danny sneaks behind the garden fence. Susie opens her eyes. Time to find the others. The garden is quiet, but not too quiet.
Huh?
Something is moving over there. The first one is found. What a surprise! Now, who's hiding behind those leaves? A curly little tail gives someone away. And Peppa is found. The game is getting exciting. Only one friend left to find. Oops, that was too easy to spot. Everyone laughs and celebrates together. Peppa wants to play one more round. And off they go again, running in all directions. It's another wonderful day of fun and laughter for Peppa and her friends. Today, Peppa and her family are going on a very special adventure under the sea. They've heard about a mysterious race, the seahorse car race. The special seahorses are getting their racing cars ready. Each one looks unique, from bubbly cars to shiny seashell racers. The race begins, and the seahorse cars dash quickly. Swishing through seaweed and dodging jellyfish drifting around. Oh no! One racer's stuck in an old fishing net.
Oh.
But thanks to the helpful rescue whales, the race goes on. Across the finish line they go. No one wins alone. Everyone celebrates together. Yay! Peppa and George had such a special day under the sea. Would you like to join the seahorse car race with Peppa too? Giant Santa visits Peppa and George on Christmas night. Peppa and George enjoy the Christmas season. Oh, George just got an idea. It's a snow globe. George throws it at Peppa. Peppa is angry while George is laughing. And that's how the chase starts. Christmas Eve has arrived. The air is sparkling and magical. It's the giant Santa Claus, carrying a gift bag as big as a mountain. Giant Santa gives gifts to Peppa and George. It's a unicorn. Giant Santa gives gifts to Peppa and George. Wow, it's a toy train. Everyone is having fun, but it's almost time to say goodbye. What a wonderful and cheerful Christmas day! Let's join the marathon. Today, Peppa and her friends are joining a fun marathon in the sunny park. Everyone is excited to run together. They warm up and stretch, ready for the big race. Even Daddy Pig joins in. Mommy Pig blows the whistle.
Let's go.
And off they go. Peppa runs fast with Susie by her side. George is a little tired, but Peppa cheers him on.
Go!
Peppa stops to help her friend Rebecca Rabbit. Daddy Pig slows down but keeps smiling. Time for a little drink break. Everyone's having fun together. George pedals as fast as he can. They're almost at the finish line. Look, they're finishing together. Everyone gets a shiny medal. Because in Peppa's world, everyone's a winner. When Mommy Pig is sick. It was a bright morning at the Pig family's house. But Mommy Pig wasn't feeling very well today. She had caught a little cold. Peppa wanted to help her mummy. George shared his teddy to make Mummy feel better. Daddy Pig brought some medicine. Ha! Mummy Pig rested in her cozy bed. Peppa made sure the room was quiet. George brought some flowers for her. They played quietly so Mummy could rest. Daddy Pig cooked something warm. The smell filled the house with comfort. Peppa helped carry the bowl carefully. Mummy Pig smiled and thanked her family. They all stayed together, keeping her company. Peppa made a get well card. George added a little heart. Mummy Pig loved their surprise. Soon she felt much better. They ended the day happily, watching their favorite show together. The Giant Pumpkin. Today, something strange has happened in Peppa's garden. A giant pumpkin appeared, as if by magic. Mummy Pig imagines hundreds of dishes, from pumpkin soup, pumpkin pie, to even giant pumpkin juice. Daddy Pig thought it was all about strength, but clearly the pumpkin had its own plan, to be the garden's fastest racer. And instead of eating pumpkin, the pig family enjoyed a giant pumpkin adventure full of laughter. What a tasty and funny day! Trip to the farm, morning at the farm. The whole family steps out of the car, looking at the lush green fields. The older sister and younger sibling take a deep breath, their eyes shining. Mom hands the seeds to Dad, points to the garden bed.
Let's go.
Dad rolls up his sleeves and nods with determination. The sister and siblings spot the chickens and cows, point excitedly. Dad and Mom. Dad digs a bit too hard. Dirt splashes onto his shirt. Mom neatly sows the seeds, adjusting the vegetable rows. The younger sibling scatters grain for the chickens. The chickens rush over, clucking. The older sister carries a bucket of grass for the cows. The cows lower their heads and eat slowly. The two kids laugh with delight. Suddenly, a camel walks over from somewhere. The youngest gets scared and steps back. The youngest turns and runs away, and the animal runs after them. At a corner wall, the youngest has nowhere else to go and stands still, eyes closed. Suddenly, the camel slows down, stops, and eats the handful of grass in the youngest's hand. It turns out it was only following because of the food. The youngest pats its head, and the older brother runs over to play too. Scene change. Mom and Dad stand happily, watching the two kids play with the livestock. The kids ride on the camel's back, strolling around the farm. A chicken suddenly flies over, lands on the camel's head, and crows loudly. The siblings burst into laughter. After a while, Mom and Dad return to the vegetable garden. The kids hop down and walk over as well. The whole family works together. Dad carries a basket of vegetables. Mom waters the plants. The older sister closes the chicken coop gate. She neatly places the feed bucket. Everyone looks at each other and nods in satisfaction. The family sits resting under a tree. Chickens peck at grain nearby. Cows chew grass slowly. Dad gives a thumbs up. The whole family smiles happily. The sweet-making machine of Professor Lion. Today, Peppa and her friends visit Professor Leo's lab.
Aha!
Where sugar, flour, and curiosity blend into one. Professor Leo proudly declares, each button creates a culinary masterpiece. Naturally, no one dares to press one. Yet, sure whether to eat first or clean first. A moment both delicious and sticky. It turns out every invention comes with a little chaos and a little sweetness at the end. One calm evening, the pig family is sitting in the living room. Daddy Pig is holding the TV remote. After a while, Daddy Pig puts the remote down.
Hey!
Huh?
When it's time to change the channel, the remote is gone.
Huh?
Big Pig starts helping. Little Pig climbs down to the floor.
Huh?
Mummy Pig stands up and observes. And the remote is nowhere to be found. Daddy Pig lifts the cushions one by one.
Huh?
Big Pig shakes a sofa cushion. Mummy Pig lifts the cushion high. No one notices. Daddy Pig keeps searching.
Huh?
Daddy Pig reaches into his pocket. And that's why sometimes lost things are simply walking around with us. The BBQ fire mishap. Today, Dog Chef is making the biggest BBQ ever!
Aha!
Daddy Pig knows exactly who to call, and Peppa couldn't be prouder to hit the alarm.
Okay.
The rescue team arrives faster than the smell of burnt sausages. From that day, everyone remembered. BBQs are fun, but safety makes them taste even better. One quiet afternoon, Big Pig and Little Pig are inside the house. At the same time, Daddy Pig and Mummy Pig are standing outside the door. Daddy Pig presses the doorbell. But inside the house, Big Pig and Little Pig hear nothing. Outside, Daddy Pig presses the doorbell again. Inside the house, Little Pig turns on a musical toy.
Aha!
Outside, Daddy Pig presses the doorbell again and again. But inside the house, the music is louder than the doorbell. Outside, Daddy Pig gently knocks on the door. Inside the house, Big Pig accidentally turns the toy off.
Sorry.
And at that exact moment, the doorbell rings again. And that is why the doorbell was never broken. The house was just too noisy to hear it. Peppa and George's amazing adventure with a giant toy dinosaur. Wow, what a lovely day! Let's go and have some fun! Suddenly, a rugby ball appeared and fell right on George. Oh dear! George, are you okay? Where did this ball come from? George feels angry and runs off to find the ball. Then, George kicked the ball far away. Unfortunately, the ball flew straight into a giant toy dinosaur. The giant toy dinosaur came over to find out what happened, making Peppa and George feel worried. Peppa and George started running, and the giant toy dinosaur chased after them. Peppa quickly found the rugby ball. Peppa and George felt sorry for the giant toy dinosaur, so they apologized. The toy dinosaur happily accepted Peppa and George's apology. What an exciting day! Everyone is happy. George lifts weights.
Whoa!
Huh?
Yahoo!
Ah!
Today, George wants to be strong like Daddy Pig, starting with some super light weights. George feels as strong as a little dinosaur.
Huh?
George decides to try something a little more challenging. Daddy Pig thinks George is ready for an upgraded workout. Oops! It seems the upgraded weights were a bit too much. And so George keeps training lighter, safer, and much more fun. The magical adventure of Peppa and George in the toy world. Another new day for Peppa and George. Peppa and George are playing in the middle of a bustling city when a Rubik's Cube suddenly appears out of nowhere, jumps onto Peppa's head, and grows bigger. And then something unexpected happens. A magical portal appears and pulls Peppa and George into a magical place. Wow, it's a toy house filled with giant and exciting toys. And the two of them play together with the ball. A toy airplane starts to operate. The teddy bear toy grows bigger. The magical portal appears again and brings Peppa and George back to their normal life. It truly was a fun and magical adventure.